So today I kind of wanted to talk about like how I taught my kids to read English. We actually started off, I think, with English maybe a little bit sooner than Chinese, I would say, but both before a year of age, where I was just super bored at home looking at a slobbering baby, and I had nothing else to do but torture my baby with flashcards, right? No, I just found that before the age of 1, it's really easy for them to really memorize anything. You don't have to explain a thing. They just take it in. You give them something to see. You say it's this sound. They're like, okay, it's this sound. And they can't argue back. So that was a plus. So I started off with actually words that they know at a baby stage, but like a lot of the parents ask like about blending and how I started that. So actually for blending words and being able to sound out like words themselves, we started around age 2, but with sight words, they knew that around age 1, it's just recognize a word, say it. It's the same way I implemented Chinese. I put a word in the front, or nouns, and then, or a sight word in the front, and then a picture in the back for a flashcard. But the way I started with phonics and blending is I did exactly that. I said phonics. So schools, they'll say, they'll have you sing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We did something a little different. So this was never A to them. This is only A. So I'll say big A, little A, it's A. This is P, this is Qu, and so forth. So we learn the letter sounds first, taking it, a little at a time. And sometimes I'll say, oh, snakes make the sound S. That's why snake sound, the snake, I'll show the word snake, and I'll cover up the N-A-K-E, and I'll say it's S. So I never say it's an S. I'll say it's because it makes so much more sense when you're trying to sound out a word. Once you have that down, you have all the letter sounds down, then you can move to like three letter words, and you can do these by writing them out, or like pointing at them in books, or doing your own flashcards and so forth. Or you can also buy like little what I call manipulatives. This is one thing that we use because it can turn and you're not afraid of the baby swallowing anything. But you put these these are nuts and bolts. You put these in, and then they can turn these and see if anything makes sense. So we had yum, and then you can do like, there's ear, you can put better letter sounds in the front. These were very random, like there's cat, and then you can turn it, and there's sat. They can practice their first letter sound in some short word families. So that would be, my first place to go is after letter sounds, do these, do Bob Books. Bob Books is really good with these really short 3-letter sounding stuff. And then after Bob Books, you can get like little really easy readers. So I'm gonna do a separate video on the readers, but that's kind of like the flow and progression. So when you teach them, right, you don't say Todd. What you want to do is this: T, A, d, t, ta, ta, d, ta, d, ta, 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 ta. So go slow and then go faster and faster and faster until it sounds like a real word. So this one, it'd be like, okay, so what's this letter sound? T. What's this? T, T, how would you put that together? T, 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 t. What's that? G. Tug, 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 tug. So that's what we went through with a lot with toddlers. Now, if you have like an older child, obviously, you don't have to go that slow or else they might think you are really weird. So you could just simply go s, at, at, sat, sat. So, you know, you could go faster so they don't think you're crazy. For little kids, go a little slower. It takes them a couple of times. Try to do words that they know already. Like I would say, you know, this toy here is even for like someone who's already seen a couple of the, you know, words. After they do Bob, they can do this, you know, because then they can start hunting for stuff that the words that they know. Lab, you know, or sad, you know, they'd be like, oh, sad. How do you spell sad? What do you think is in the end of sad? Which one's duh? And then you know, have them flip through, and then even when they flip through, you can ask them, what's that? Is it sab? What is that? Sad. Oh, you found it. It's sad. So it's kind of like little things that you do here and there, little minutes here and there. Look, there's leg. You know, have them find a word. You don't have to buy something like this. I bought it because I didn't want to make my own. You can definitely make your own, you know, create letters and have them find the letters. There's also like the Melissa and Doug wooden letters that you can utilize. So that's kind of the general point of like the easy blending. And then I'm gonna do a second video on some other things that we use for the next step.